Hello folks, and welcome to the channel. Well, I got a pretty good project that is hanging out behind me here. My sidekick Lily is standing right in front of it. It's a late 60s wood chipper, and it's running a Ford Industrial straight six engine in it. The camera around here, see her pretty face. And I've got pretty much what we got going on here is a seized engine, getting ready to tear it all apart, tear it down, and what you see in the video is just kind of the revival. Will it run? Will it not run? We're gonna have to pull this engine out and put another one in. Stay tuned to find out. Well, unfortunately, got some water in the base. I'm gonna see how much. Oh man. Whew. Well, here comes the oil. Ooh. Lots of water. It's all a bunch of oil now. I'd say she just got left out and just filled up with water. Ugh. Oh man, that's some gnarly stuff. Very gloopy. Well, wouldn't be too hard to drop the oil pan. Guess you could drop the oil pan and take a look in there. Man, because that was a lot of water. I bet there's some rust going on in there. Crawl up, show you the top side. Just doing this video to document. I had suggested just pulling the engine, getting a replacement engine, because I thought that this one was going to be toast. I couldn't get it to turn over because that cylinder was full of water, and it's a little down from top dead center. I mean, possibly could get this thing going, but just gotta get the fluid, get the coolant and stuff out. I'm gonna take some acetone and Marvel Mystery Oil and drip her in. Maybe we can get her going. sucking all the moisture out of the chambers. Not too awful bad. I think we're hopefully going to be able to save it. This one actually had the most in it. I thought that was coming out because of I took the head off, but she was filled right up. That one's actually got some, but I think it's savable. I gotta drop the pan. I'm gonna go get some, shut this stuff on. Gotta drop the pan. I gotta go get some Marvel Mystery Oil and some acetone. But engine was stuck. I pulled the plugs that I could pull out and found that there was water in one of the chambers, which was that one there actually, and these two couldn't get the spark plug out, so I told them, well, let's pull the head off and take a look. That one was completely filled with water and coolant, which, yeah, but we're gonna soak these. I'm gonna get the sparkulators out and clean them up, because they're actually in pretty good shape, other than that they were sitting in moist area. Gonna drop the oil pan and take a look-see. So got a mixture of acetone and Marvel Mystery Oil in there. I was able to drop the oil pan down enough because it had water in the base, so I wanted to get an eyeball in it, and it looks pretty darn good. I think it's gonna all work out. For now, I'm just gonna bolt the pan back on it so no moisture gets in, and let the mystery oil do its stuff, because getting that oil pan out from underneath is going to involve taking the 4 bolts here, unbolting it here, and jacking it up a little bit. So we're just gonna wait, make sure I can get the engine to break free, and then move on from there. Anyways, that's the worst one. The rest of them are easily clean, be able to clean them up. This was the one with water in it. It wasn't even that, well, one of the ones that had water in it. That one had the most in it though, and it's pretty rough. And it goes, I mean, it's got a pretty thick layer of rust all the way down. All right, check it out. They cleaned up pretty good. The farthest one is the worst one. I suspect it's gonna have a bit of lower compression in that cylinder, but the goal here is for it not to be perfect and to stay within budget. So it's about ready to drop. Time to drop the oil pan. Unfortunately, the oil pan will not come out of this thing unless I well, unbolt this side, loosen up that side, pick it up with the engine crane. But it's necessary. I got to take it out and clean it out. The bottom, the sump is probably the worst part. It's pretty sludgy and dirty. I want to clean it all up. That way it's picking up oil good. I want to, even though I looked at the lower end and it looks clean enough, I want to get in with my face right all up in the bottom end of that thing just to make double sure. But it's turning over. It turns smooth. You know, it's an old engine. This is a late 60s engine, and you know, it looks like it probably got used a lot, but I don't, you know, I don't think it's a lost cause. So we're gonna work on getting this. The next step after I get the bottom end cleaned out is to get the head cleaned up. That's in the shop. But progress. I got the pan out. I bought a cheap engine hoist off from one of my neighbors, one of my friends. I don't know if you can see it. That matters. And I got one side of the engine all hoisted up. Got the oil pan out, and I just wanted to show you. Look at that. Yeah. But we lucked out. It's not in bad shape. The inside of the oil pan looks good. The bottom end of that engine looks beautiful. I mean, I got to go out and I'm just going to check each wrist pin and just kind of, you know, make sure it's tight, you know, or tight-ish. I'm not looking for anything super special. I mean, this engine is, I mean, we're talking late 60s. So these two spark plugs are the ones that are problematic. I got them soaking now. Got the torch out. I'm just going to keep working on them, get them out of there. All the, I don't know if you can see that. Here, let me get on the other side. Shine some light. Oh, I can't do it in wide lens. Can't use ultra wide lens. Well, I'm not. Am I? There we go. So, I mean, we're not talking perfect. And I'm going to clean these up the best I can. But all the valves open and close. There's a couple of them that there's gonna probably be a little blow by, and you're probably saying, well, you got it off, you might as well take. No, I'm not gonna do that. He is on a budget, and I know it's kind of pointless, but I don't believe it's gonna be enough to really matter. And I've actually improved on it a little bit. It was just that one there, which I think that one, and that one. All three of them were corroded enough so they were slightly opened a little bit. And with a little bit of persuasion with a hammer on the other side, and I pre-cleaned it with some air. Well, scraped it up, but pre-cleaned it. Then hit it with some air. I got it as clean as could and just tapped it with a little bit of air, a little bit of PB Blaster and stuff, and they're a lot better. So I have high hopes for this running fairly well. The biggest issue is probably going to be the electrical. The engine came unstuck and seems to be all right. Now I just gotta get this stuff out of there, you know? Yeah, gross. I'm gonna clean the pickup as well and get some gaskets on this puppy, get it up in there, get that thing finished, cleaned up, and get the head gasket. We've got new head gasket here. I'm hoping, I've got other projects here I'm working on, but I'm hoping by next week this time, I'll at least have it so it's firing, and we'll work from there, but we'll update. I used black RTV. Where is it? Right there. What I like to do is put some down, put a bead everywhere around everything, and now these are all pressed on and just kind of setting. I'm just going to let it set up. I'm going to put it, install it. I'm going to finger tight them down, basically have a 1/2 inch socket on a really long extension and just kind of cinch it up, and then I'm gonna let it set for like 24 hours and then tighten them down, and should be good. Everything cleaned up on here good, everything cleaned up on there good. Time to take lunch. Well, got it all torqued down, new head gasket in, everything was clean. I got everything cleaned up. Did the sequence 55, 65, 85. And I got the sequence to go back and forth. Did all that. Now I just gotta get the push rods in it and figure out which ones. I think I left, yeah, I did. I left these two on the end at top dead center. So just go and get the valves adjusted down. And I got new spark plugs coming tomorrow, all new auto lights. And hopefully tomorrow I'll get this thing, maybe here, see a little fire coming out. Got the, this engine crane was a good investment. Not only, you know, lifting the engine up so I could get the oil pan out and then back in, but getting this head down in there. I mean, this is a loaded head with the intake and the exhaust manifold all together. And I took it out by hand, but where it's kind of a tedious thing placing it, it came in a real handy. So, supper time. Heck yeah! The thing runs like a top. Now, I don't see anything running out anywhere. She friggin' runs awesome. Mint. I gotta get this all hooked back up. I'm pretty sure this belt is not the right size. Get some coolant. Get some coolant in it. Yeah, I don't see anything. Nothing's leaking. Man, it runs good. It took me a bit to get it to... It took me a little bit to get it to fire. It just didn't want it. But finally, she kicked off. Fired right up. Friggin' thing runs perfect. Now time to fine tune everything. Get the muffler back on there. I gotta get... It's got a ground issue going on. What else? Yeah, I mean, put it in gear, see if the drum moves. Awesome. Well, there you have it. The wood chipper revival worked out pretty good. Still got some more work to do. You could probably see some jumper cables just dangling down there. That's because there is a ground issue. So I've got it grounded straight to the starter. That's where I was getting the best ground. So not really sure. We're gonna get the test laid out eventually, but I got the initial what he wanted to get done. And now it's kind of the fine-tuned stuff, like get the temp gauge working, and there's a number of other little things that get a cap welded on the intake there. But it does pretty good, even for somewhat dull blades. Some of that was pretty dry. That last piece was really pretty good size. I mean, I showed you it was probably four-ish inches in diameter at the fat end, and it didn't really care at all. It lugged it down a little bit, but I see no problem with putting a brush pile through this sometime soon. I think he's going to be real happy with it. It runs good. Doesn't seem to be overheating. Don't look at my terrible welding. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. Flux core. He had like a little, I don't know, it's like a tinny wrap around it, and I welded it direct. Not bad for being totally stuck a week or so ago. I had to wait for parts and this and that. But I believe he's got a pretty good unit now. So, gonna put a toolbox right here. And what else did he want to do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna put a small winch. He's not gonna be towing this down the road. So we're either gonna put a winch right where the plate thing goes, or gonna put it right under there somewhere. That way he can pull big, cut them long and pull big bundles of it right up to the back and then just feed it in. Anyways, that wraps up this video. Please like and subscribe, and if you have watched this far, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm not looking to become famous or anything, but I do know that a lot of people like seeing this old stuff. I'm sure you like seeing the old Bolins towing this thing around. Please, leave comments. I take criticism. Pretty much all negative, dumb crap will be ignored. This is pretty much the junkyard way of doing it. That engine should have probably gotten a valve job. It should have probably had, at least a hone pass through it after I got done getting the 2 cylinders that were in hard shape, to the point that I felt comfortable turning the engine over. Once I started turning the engine over, I turned it over by hand, Marvel Mystery Oil and acetone, and just basically every turn that dropped the piston down, I was wiping the top and then doing it all over again. And I got to the point where I was fairly comfortable with the finish that was on in the cylinders. We're to the point that it was gonna work. So was it perfect? No, it was not perfect. But were there cracks? There were no cracks. So I felt comfortable throwing a new head gasket on it, throwing the oil pan back on it, putting the oil in, going through the whole process. The ignition system, all I had to do was just file the points. I filed the contacts. I put new spark plugs in it, new oil. He had rebuilt the carburetor. I mean, it took a bit for it to catch and fire, but when it did, it fired right up and sat there and idled, ran perfect. So for what he's using it for, I think we got a winner. See you in the next video.